She rested her hand on his arm as if staking a claim. Her voice stayed steady. Mine did too. I've finally upgraded, she told our friends. They laughed. Some uneasy, some glad to witness someone else's downfall for a change. I just nodded. I finished my drink. I left the party. No yelling, no drama, no pleading, just silence. My favorite language when I'm about to destroy someone. You have to know who she used to be to understand why this hurts so much. Her name was Leela. We met in our freshman year of college before either of us had anything worth losing. We built each other up. I thought we did, anyway. We shared meals cooked in a single dented pot. We whispered dreams in tiny apartments. We promised forever without rings. She used to kiss me like I was home. But comfort gets boring when you start craving applause. And applause was the one thing I never bothered to chase. She did. So when her company promoted her, when her new boss started calling her indispensable, when she began staying late more often than coming home on time, I asked once. She lied once. That was enough for me. The truth doesn't hide in actions. It reveals itself in patterns. Her smile changed. Her phone stayed face down. Her car had mileage that didn't match her stories. She thought I didn't notice. She thought I loved her too much to see. I did love her. That's why I saw everything. The discovery wasn't dramatic. Just a receipt. One I found in the pocket of the coat I bought her for her birthday. Dinner for two. Wine she always said was too expensive for us. A hotel room. I stared at the receipt for a long time. Not hurt, not angry, just awake. A person only gets to break your heart once. Everything after that is strategy. So I didn't confront her. I studied her boss. The man she upgraded to was married with investors, with a board, with a spotless reputation that didn't include sleeping with employees. And Leela, my Leela, had taken out a joint mortgage with me. My name was on every contract, every asset, every account. Because love, she once said, was trust. I never trusted. I planned. I already had the passwords, the accounts, the documents. When you live with someone long enough, everything they try to hide becomes routine. So I waited. The planning took 3 months. I documented. I gathered. I consulted lawyers quietly. I moved money where it needed to go. I rewrote the mortgage agreement with clauses she'd never bother reading. She skimmed. She always skimmed. I planted a subtle trail, not to expose the affair yet, but to show patterns of financial impropriety linking her to him. She was sloppy. He was careless. I was patient. She thought I was fragile. She thought silence meant heartbreak, but silence is where storms brew. The party was perfectly timed. Her colleagues, her friends, his wife, her father, everyone who believed in her success. She made the announcement without saying it outright. The hand on his arm, the smirk, the line, "I've finally upgraded." If she expected a scene, she was disappointed. I just nodded and walked out. That was my signal. While she laughed in a room of borrowed admiration, emails were sent, documents forwarded to HR, to the board, to the ethics committee, to his wife. By the time dessert was served, careers were already cracking like thin ice. When she walked into the house that night, she looked triumphant, like betrayal was an improvement, like I had been the roadblock. Her phone buzzed first, then again, then again. 165 missed calls. Board members, her boss's wife, her co-workers, HR, her reputation unraveling in real time. And finally, the one message that made her hands shake. He knows. Call me before you lose everything. Her father. She looked at me, then really looked. What did you do? She whispered. I remember the shape of her fear more clearly than the shape of her lips. I gave everyone the truth, I said. She tried to speak. Her voice cracked. Her world was collapsing and she still didn't know how far. You ruined my life, she said. I shook my head slowly, calmly. No, you traded it. The fallout was swift. Her boss resigned. His wife filed for divorce. The board launched an investigation. She was fired publicly. And the mortgage, the house she thought we built together, I kept it. The financial documents she skimmed had cost her every share she once fought for. She left with clothes that no longer fit her and jewelry she didn't pay for. Her father called me once to apologize. Not for her, but for not realizing someone could love his daughter deeply and still know when to let her drown herself. People ask if it hurt. They ask if I miss her. I don't, because the version of her I loved never existed. She was a promise I made to myself, not a person I lived beside. I didn't lose her. I removed her. And that, finally, was me upgrading.